Hey there, it's Laurel. Welcome to another Simply Card Making video. Today I kind of have like a mixed media card to share with you. I don't do mixed media too often, but I wanted to share this card with you. So to start with, this is just a piece of regular white cardstock. And I'm going to prime it with gesso because I'm going to use gelatos. I haven't used gelatos in ages. So I thought now was a good time to pull them out and use it. And I absolutely love the stamp set that I'm going to be using today. This is from the Ton's latest release. She just had a release that had about 20 stamp sets in it, I think. And I thought this was a super cool card. So this is the Bokeh Burst Heart stamp set. I'm using the heart from the line. She also has one that has a circle in it and then another shape, a star. Really cool. I encourage you to check it out. So I'm going to take this heart bokeh. This is just part of the stamp set. It's got some sentiments in it as well. I'm going to ink that up with some ink from the Ton, and I'm going to stamp it right down. I'm using my Misty. I wanted to get good placement, and I really wanted a nice crisp impression because I'm going to be using gelatos. So I wanted to make sure that I get good placement. So anytime you need that, you need to use the Misty. Or any kind of stamp positioner, but this is the only one I use and highly, highly recommend it. This is the mini version, by the way, the mini Misty. All right, so I went ahead and stamped that down. I'm going to also stamp, she's got a sentiment, an alphabet stamp set out as well. That's the Vogue alphabet. She's got upper and lowercase letters here. I'm going to use the uppercase today. So it's the Vogue alphabet upper. And I'm going to stamp I and U. So we've got I love you is what this, obviously says. And again, I stamped it with the Ton. This is her black ink. So this is Noir, I believe. It's a waterproof ink, but I am going to zap it with my heat tool real quick. I just want to make sure it's good and dry before I take the gelatos to the paper. Now, again, I primed it with gesso. Anytime you use gelatos, I encourage you to go this extra step. It doesn't take long. Gesso dries in like 10 seconds, or you can zap it with your heat gun and it'll dry in 5 because it's going to make the blending so much smoother and so easily. So I'm going in with different colors. Now with gelatos, they are formulated to react with moisture. So you can use your fingertip. It works from the oils of your fingertip, but if it gets dry, I usually just spray a little puddle of water off to the side and I dip my finger in it when my fingers start to dry out. And it will blend that way. You can also blend with a wet wipe or a damp paper towel or even a water brush if you want to, but I wanted to control where my color went. So I thought using my finger was the best for this. So I've got, they've got two different sizes. They have the double scoop gelatos and then the regular size gelatos. They're exactly the same formulation, just the double scoop is double the size. So I think I've got cherry and snow cone here. I'm using the same finger to blend. If you don't want the colors to mix together, just use a different finger. But I wanted everything to blend together here. So I am just scribbling on. These gelatos are like little creamy chapsticks. I've also got a pink there. Ooh, I forget what the name of that pink is. But I've got, so basically I'm using a red, a blue, and a pink. And my goal is just to blend it together. That looks pretty ugly right now. It's okay because it totally did. I decided to go around the outline. I'm using a cloth. It looks dirty, but it's not. It's clean. It's just really stained. It's a very well-loved cloth. And I'm spritzing it with water and I'm blending it in this way to kind of blend all the colors together. And I'm just going to keep playing until I get the look that I want. I want the heart to be red, so I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add some red. And sometimes when I took the cloth to the paper, I ended up removing way too much color, which is why I wanted to stick with my finger. I don't know why I changed it up, but I did. So I'm just going to keep playing. And again, I love starting with white card bases and then adding all my color. I always do that. So anytime you see like layers on my cards, they probably were originally white. So it's fun to just add color and create your own thing. Whatever it is you want to do, keep playing around. I had my iPad off to the side there and I'm probably watching, what am I watching now? I'm probably watching Grey's Anatomy all over again. Now I've got some gesso here. I'm just taking my finger and kind of swiping it onto my card. I see Jill Foster, who is awesome with these products, do this a lot. And it kind of tones down some areas, but then it adds some fun mixed media look. I don't know. So I'm just going in and swiping it right on with my finger. Now this is messy, obviously. So if you're like my friend Julie, who doesn't like to get her hands dirty, put on some gloves or something. But I don't care. I go to my sink and wash my hands. And I keep my fingernails super, super short for this very reason. So I'm going to dry this all and see how it all looks dried. And then we're pretty done. So this is, pretty outside of my comfort zone. I don't do mixed media too often. I dabbled in art journaling. I follow Vicky from Clip and Cut. She's like brilliant with art journaling. She's like my art journaling mentor. But what takes her, you know, no time to do would take me a week. But sometimes it's fun to go outside your comfort zone and see, you know, if you like what you can do. I don't know. So here I am still messing with that stinking heart, going in, adding some pink, then some red, then I added some white right here, and then I ended up not liking the white, so I ended up going back over the white with the red. But that's the fun thing about gelatos. They're very forgiving, so you can keep playing around with them until you get the look that you want, you know. So don't be afraid to go in and just swipe that chapstick right onto your card and just have some fun. All right, I think I might be just about done with the heart, you know. It's like, am I happy? Am I happy? Am I finally happy? I decided, you know, I like hearts and I like shiny hearts. So I'm going to take this, this is Glaze by Faber-Castell, and I'm going to go in with my finger and just put it right over the gelato here. It's a glaze, so it's going to leave a shine behind once it dries. So I'm putting it on with my finger. I want to make sure that it's nice and smooth. I don't want it all, you know, bumpy or whatever. So I'm going to keep smoothing it out with my finger. And then when it dries, it's going to leave me with a super shiny heart. I don't know if you can pick that up from the video here, but hopefully you can from the still photo here coming up. I just mounted this to a red card base, and that's it. There's the shine from the glaze. So that's it. And I did go over the I and the U with the marker because the gelato kind of toned down the I and the U a little bit. So I did go over that with the marker to make sure it was nice and black. In retrospect, if I make this card again, I would heat set the I and the U in black, so I wouldn't have that issue. But anyway, that's the card. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, it's a little outside of my normal kind of card, so I hope that you enjoyed seeing something a little different from me, but I'll probably be going back to what I normally do here next. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.